I lowered my homemade iron hook down through the bars of the cell window. With the inmate across the way talking me through it, the hook found its mark, catching the latch on the door perfectly. One quick lift, and the small window swung open. I reached for the cover pane. Just as I was about to pull the latch open, a guard came bursting through the door in a dead panic, threw the lock behind him, and collapsed against it. We took one look at Martin's sorry state and started pressing him. What the hell was going on out there? But Martin wasn't having any of it. He walked straight to the first aid kit, pulled out gauze and rubbing alcohol, and gritted his teeth as he cleaned the bullet graze running along his thigh. That little interruption killed my plan dead in its tracks. I quietly pulled back and decided to wait. I hadn't even made it to my feet when the sound of a power drill ripped through the outside of the transport car. Somebody was forcing their way in. The other inmates shouted at Martin to release them all. The noise was getting to him.
Shut the fuck up! No one's getting off this truck!
He walked over to the monitor to check on the cab, and he saw a figure dressed in black had broken in and ripped the camera right out of the wall. I saw my opening and bolted, going straight for the keys. Martin jumped up and lunged for the iron door. I jammed my foot in the gap before it could shut and got my hand around his throat. Martin drove his fingers into my eye socket. I shoved him back hard and threw him out into the hallway. That's when he pulled the gun from his holster, moved to shove me back into the cell. Then a sharp smell spread through the entire car. An old man dragged his hand across the floor and confirmed that it was gasoline. Before he could even call out to Martin, a ball of fire was tossed through one of the openings. The flames spread fast, creeping toward the neighboring cell. Martin grabbed a fire extinguisher and rushed to help the old men, but it wasn't enough. The old men never made it out. When Martin looked up again, he realized I had used the chaos to pop every single cell door open. He raised his gun, trying to regain control, but we had the numbers on him. We closed in slowly, backing him right into a corner, and then his radio crackled.
Good evening. All right, so there's a lot going on here. The police officer in there with you is the only key that can open the truck. If you want your freedom, you just need to let me in. What you do before or after, if you don't open up, you'll all die.
The second word got out that Martin's gun was empty. A few of the inmates went at him. In the scramble, the keys hit the floor. Just as someone bent down to grab them, Marcos swung a fire extinguisher and cracked him across the head, then snatched the keys himself. He screamed at everyone to back off. From the surveillance feed, the hijacker had been watching the whole thing go down. Seeing things grind to a halt again, he came back over the radio with an offer. Hand over Marcos, and everyone else walks away clean. Marcos tried to explain. The hijacker was a dirty cop. He had done terrible things. The others were stunned, but the truth wasn't what they were after. In a last-ditch move, he swallowed the keys whole. Martin got knocked cold by one of the inmates. When Martin came to, he was locked up in the same cell as Marcos. The inmates were debating whether to cut Marcos open and take the keys by force. Then Miguel's voice came through the radio again. He wanted Marcos alive. A moment later, the power to the entire car went dark. They were completely out of moves. They pried up the floorboards looking for another way out, but came up empty. Miguel softened his terms. If Marcos just told him what he wanted to know, he'd let everyone go free. Marcos swore that he knew nothing.